Dear writer, today I'm here with something a little bit different. Dear creator, dear artist, dear writer, you are so many things, but today you are blocked. And that's the reason why you're here. Your work has crept to a standstill. Maybe it's even gathering dust somewhere. And everything feels terribly wrong because the work is slow. And maybe all of your ideas are wrong, or you yourself are wrong. Because it's always been tricky, hasn't it? Separating yourself from the work. But let's slow down a little bit. Seriously, we can take our time here. This is a letter from one creative season to another. I'm writing to you from an abundant creative season. One where the ideas just tumble out incessantly with this kind of buzzing energy. The type of energy you might miss. But I'm writing to you now because there's a few things you need to hear. I promise it's mostly understanding and encouragement. This is a pep talk for you when you are in a slow creative season. But I also have some small nuggets of advice I want to remind you of. You might be frustrated with yourself, angry even. There's this annoying creak in your brain as you drag a pencil across the page and trace that faltering line. It's worn you down. You're exhausted. And maybe you've turned your tired eyes to the people who make it look easy. The prolific ones. The fast ones. You're playing the comparison game and it's getting you down even more. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind. But look at what you're doing. Not much, you might say. But seriously, look at it. Yes, the work is slow. I get it. Each and every word has to be extracted from you. And maybe at the end of the day, you only have a paragraph or so to show for it. And that doesn't feel like progress at all. But here's what I think. That paragraph is one that the you from 1 week ago, or a month ago, or even a year ago couldn't have written. Because when the work is slow, that is when you're really learning. The thing with books is that you're always kind of teaching yourself, right? Because the book doesn't exist yet. You're learning about the characters, you're learning about the story along the way. But that's okay, because you didn't become a writer to be a master at it automatically, or even a master at it all the time. I mean, maybe a little bit of you want to show off the cool things you could do with words. But mostly you're a writer because you can't picture your life without writing, without words. Even when you go long stretches without it, you can't help but write. And really, is slowness such a bad thing? In a slow season, you can really pay attention to each and every idea. You can be meticulous, contemplative, you can move with intention. As somebody who has spent the better part of a year ricocheting frantically from one idea to another, with no order to the chaos, honestly, I'm kind of jealous. Beautiful work takes time to make. The frenetic pitter-patter of the internet might not have you thinking that way. Everything is so fast, and the people who work quickly and post are the ones who reap the rewards. And then all of a sudden you're looking through their bios going, now how old are they and how much have they accomplished with their time already? But seriously, listen. They are not making your art, and you're not seeing the full behind the scenes of theirs. So really, you're doing both of you a disservice. Just keep your eyes on your own paper for a little bit. Focus in. Good art takes time. It's okay to slow down even more, especially those thoughts. When the writing is slow, it leaves a lot of room in your mind for other things. Those racing thoughts, the worries, all of the lists, all of the plans. I swear, it'll be okay if you slow those down for a while. Read and reread the pages. Flip through the novel you've read again and again. Put curse words in your book. Give the chapters funny names even if you never use them again. Find your favorite word on every page. You are building strength and endurance. All of this is part of your practice, and it's called practice for a reason. Most days are going to be sitting and thinking and pondering and repeating and practicing more than they're going to be inking the most beautiful sentence that you've ever written. It is okay if the quality of your ideas is outpacing your skills. The best ideas have a way of sticking around and resurfacing when you're ready. It is okay for the process to be slow and unglamorous. It's okay to finish your draft in a tiny 300-word chunk on an otherwise nondescript Tuesday afternoon. It is okay if your art isn't giving you that feeling of exhilaration right now. So all of this encouragement is nice, but you're stuck. You're really stuck. So here is some of my slightly tougher advice for you. Finish something. Make it something small, something that is reasonable to accomplish, so that you can finish it up and show it to someone and say, look, I did it. I really did it. But also make sure it's something that you really need to do. Give yourself a deadline. Sometimes in slow creative seasons, I've noticed that tasks kind of expand to fill whatever time you're going to give them. Finish something and be content that you couldn't have done any better with the time that you allotted yourself. If that's not working, please just make something else, something drastically different from whatever you have going on right now. Write like a space opera or a heist or something. Write like a copy pasta for all I can, like a tweet, a blog post. Ditch the form of the written word and make some really scribbly art tucked away somewhere that nobody else ever has to see. And hold on, don't try to tell a story with that art. I know that you love doing that. I'm talking like shapes and colors here. Draw some flowers, mushrooms, keep it simple. If you're still stuck, I want you to consider something. Maybe this isn't an artistic problem anymore. Maybe it is really a life problem, like being way too physically exhausted, or maybe mentally being in a really bad place. No amount of artistic determination is going to change those factors. Get your butt to therapy. Regulate your routine. Get some sleep. Maybe just do nothing. This isn't a Snapchat or whatever. You don't have to worry about breaking your streak. And the writing advice boogeymen aren't going to come get you if you don't write every day. You're no less of a writer if it's something you can't stand doing every day. But I know how much joy writing brings you, and I know how much pain it can also bring when it's not quite working out. So what I hope you get from this message is a small bit of comfort from one creative season to another. I recognize you, and I know that there's an ebb and flow to this whole process, and I hope that I could in some way help you remember that today. Thanks for sticking with me for this slightly different video. If you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments below, or give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new here, I do a lot of different types of stuff in my writing and art life, and I talk about it all the time here on YouTube. So if you'd like, you can subscribe. I'll put my other links down below. This was an important reflection for me, my writing life, and it's sort of a cyclical process that I'm noticing lately. But if you're in a place where you're blocked or stuck, I hope this brought you some comfort as well. Alright, that's all for this video. Until next time, this is Emrose. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.